are back. It's the final leg of our conversation here on the Morning Brief. The Executive Director of CISLAC, that's the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, joins us live on the program. Mr. Awal Ibrahim Rafsanjani on the program. Thank you indeed, Mr. Rafsanjani, for joining us on the program this morning. You have been speaking about Nigeria, and you speak about Nigeria really very passionately. So when you look at this current administration, give us a scorecard of what you think in terms of governance and leadership, where we are on a scale of 1 to 10. My second question is the fact that you have somehow connected insecurity or linked insecurity to issues around corruption, mismanagement of finances, and abuse of power. Walk us through how that works.
Thank you very much, and good morning, viewers. We are really in a very, terrible situation in this country, where human lives don't matter, where people think that they have the right to take other people's life or destroy their properties. And this happening across the country from different forms of, criminality in this country. So also, because of the entrenched corruption in the security sector, which we have been calling for government to address, unfortunately, it has also become a source of making money for some people. And like joke, the thing has eaten the fabric of our society. So until we rise up to deal decisively with corruption in the security sector, also improve in terms of policing by ensuring that we have the necessary facilities and equipment and even the personnel, by also ensuring that we motivate the personnel that are also putting their lives, because I can assure you that Nigerian security, they don't have life insurance. If they get killed, even for their families to get their entitlement, they will pass through corruption, extortion, delay, and all sorts of frustration. So even those ones that have retired, you see them every day, they are coming out for one protest or the other because their entitlement is not given. Now, with such kind of situation, there's no way you can be able to defeat the criminality that you are having in the country. Because even from the recruitment process, you have not also been able to do the right thing. Because a situation whereby people have to pay bribe to obtain the forms, and even pay bribe to get posted to what they call lucrative places, a situation whereby people have to pay bribe to get promotion, not necessarily on merit. So these are all part of the thing that have give up to find us where we are in the lackadaisical situation about the security sector, coupled with the fact that you do not have shared intelligence, you do not have coordination, partnership, collaboration, and on top of it, there's a total loss of confidence on the Nigerian people to the security personnel because of the outright extortion and incriminating Nigerians even when they volunteer to provide information that will lead to addressing security breach. So also, you also have the challenge of the government not bothered about early warning and early response mechanism, because every violence conflict in this country, you have signal, you have a pointer to the fact that something was going to happen. But because of the lack of timely intervention, you allow such kind of situation to go, and at the end of the day, we lose life and properties. So, equally important, Nigerians have been talking about the fact that we need to prioritize the security We thank the president. Yesterday he announced that police that are guiding VIPs, including Yahoo people, would now be withdrawn. We hope that will work, because we know in this country, one person is having like 10 to 15 policemen guarding him. He is not even a government official. But because of misplacement of priority, and because they have refused to also place the police in ungoverned spaces, we have absence of police or absence of law enforcement agents in where we need them to protect Nigerians. So I hope that Mr. President directive will be taken, and that it should not be a selective, because a situation whereby you see some people carrying police to even go to club, to go to all sorts of lounge and all sorts of places, whereas communities are lacking police, they are lacking presence of security agencies. I think we need to do something about that. Again, we need to also ensure that these roadblocks that the police are in everywhere, and yet criminality is going on immediately you move to the next checkpoint. I think we need to do something. When you commercialize and privatize security sector for public safety, it's a problem. So I think for me, there's need to do a lot in terms of the security sector reforms to overcome the challenges that we are facing, which now led us to this embarrassment that some countries are calling us disgraced country.
All right, Mr. Rafsanjani, I know that CISLAC is big on transparency. And one of the things that we've discovered is that if we don't tell ourselves the brutal truth, this cycle will continue. I know a video came up the other time. I remember it was Senator Dino Melaye. If you listen to him, he's no longer in the Senate. If you listen to that video, what he said on the floor of the Senate, as at the time he was at the Senate, you think is happening now. That means we've been here before, maybe a couple of times. What says we will not be here again if this blows over? And we cannot continue in this cycle until we're brutally honest. So, absolutely, in the spirit of transparency, I've listened to literally all sides for and against this conversation, including what happened at the subcommittee level at the Congress. And 4 things stood out, which I want you to speak to. I highlighted it this morning in terms of transparency. First is the fact that it is almost disingenuous and borderline evil to deny that there's no form of Christian genocide in the mix of the complexity. It's almost disingenuous to say there is not an economic problem. Herder, farmer, climate change issues, people are trying to survive, both farmer and herder. There's also the geopolitics element. It's also true that there's a geopolitics element. We may just be a playing field for the geopolitics, for our rare minerals. There's also the criminality. So these are like the 4 drivers. Maybe they have sub-drivers, I do not know. If you were to address this transparently, how do we start? Because what is happening now is the fact that when you talk about the genocide, the Muslims say they kill us as well. That is a fact. In fact, I believe some part of the country, maybe more Muslims are killed in this whole sense, and some more Christians are killed. I don't think the debate is over who is killed more than the other. It's just to stop the killing. So how do we address this brutally, honestly?
Thank you very much. I think this is what civil society have been advocating. If you look at what Amnesty International Nigeria and a whole lot of other civil society like CISLAC have been advocating, is that, look, we must stop killing, irrespective of whatever forms it is, whether it is religious killing, whether it is political killing, whether it is ethnic killing, whether it is whatever form of killing. Human lives is human lives, and Nigerian government has the responsibility to ensure that they protect lives and properties of Nigerians. So whatever nomenclature you give it, human lives is a human life, and it must be protected. That's number 1. Number 2, I think it is also important that we deal with this issue squarely. You have a lot of money budgeted to deal with the insecurity in this country. No accountability whatsoever. In fact, it wasn't the matter. Even Mr. President himself, he said he was not going to prove money given to the security agencies, to do with the insecurity, despite the fact that Nigerians have not seen, much that needed to be, done from the security personnel because of course, corruption. Today, as I speak to you, go to National Assembly, no budget is passed without those elements of corruption, because a committee will come and they will ask the various ministry or prestator to put certain things that are not actually, even part of what the government had actually, planned for, and no consultation with the members of the National Assembly to say, okay, because of our informed oversight, there are money that we need to either block somewhere, or there are money that we need to add. Because part of the reason why you do oversight is to find out whether the appropriation or the funds that you have provided to a particular agency, whether it's sufficient or whether it's insufficient, whether it is unnecessary. Then through the oversight, you come and then take informed decision during the budgetary allocation. Today, it is like almost an envelope, not on the basis of need assessment. Secondly, you have a huge amount of money that are being stolen in this country in the names of the security boards. You cannot continue to, turn public taxpayers' money into a personal money that's no audited account on this money, no supervision, no oversight, no information whatsoever about it. So you cannot continue to go this way. And then at the same time, this personnel that you are supposed to ensure that they have the necessary resources or facilities, they are not given. We are wasting, our policemen, we are wasting our soldiers, and to worsen the matter, because of all this, corruption or trying to, annex or trying to corner the security sector by one segment of the security, agency, you are not able to have the necessary coordination and shared information. And that is why you see that even the army are overstressed in this country. They are in operation in virtually every part of the country. There's no way you can take the roles of internal security matters that are supposed to be done by the police, DSS, and other internal security personnel to now sole responsibility of the army. At the same time, the army will now be facing external threat from Nigeria. So I think, couple of number of issues that must be addressed. Again, this issue of political will that we are talking about, because if there's a political will, the impunity you see in these killings will stop. When people are killed, commission of inquiry will be set up, recommendation will be drawn, nothing is going to be implemented. So the communities have lost confidence that when they are, killed, when they are attacked, they are not going to get justice. And some people, they will even sponsor this killing. So there are a number of issues that are not working very well, and that if we are honest and sincere, like you said, we must fix those things before we think that this problem can go over. It cannot go over if you continue with this impunity and corruption and incompetency and dishonesty and broken trust between the Nigerian people and this thing.
We are absolutely pressed for time. Maybe a yes or no question. This issue around the school closure in Kebbi and Niger State, you have faulted the government's and criticized the government's approach. Do you think the school should have been closed? Yes. Just a yes or no?
Well, I think, first and foremost, like we mentioned, there's early warning. Communities have mentioned the presence of some of these people. Government should have taken position, should have taken quick action to bring in security, either to close down the school or to protect the schools. But we didn't see that happen.
All right. Well, we have to leave it here at this time, but thank you indeed, as always, for your time, insights, perspectives on the program. Mr. Wal Musa Rafsanjani is the Executive Director and the head of CISLAC and the head of Transparency International Nigeria. Thank you indeed, as always, for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.